Maybe if you could start out by telling me your name and your age and a little bit about yourself.
I'm Casey Adams. Up until about a month ago, I was Casey Dean.
Okay.
So I just got married, and I'm 26, and born and raised just on the other side of the Wind River Mountains in Pinedale, and then made my way over here eventually. I've been here for about 2 years.
Okay, great. And what do you do for work?
I work at Knowles. I'm the PR specialist and writer over there. So I get to take on all sorts of fun projects, a wide variety of work, which is exciting.
Yeah, that's great. So were you raised in Pinedale?
Yeah.
Did you have an athletic background?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was on the swimming and track teams all through school, and then when I went to college, I didn't join any teams. I started running, more than 400 sprints on my own, slowly building up the miles, which is really exciting. Oh my gosh, I can run 3 whole miles
yeah.
at a time. I had an internship the summer after my sophomore year in Alaska, and randomly got pulled into a relay team for a cycling race. Mm-hmm. Something I had never done anything remotely close to before, and loved it, and realized I had all 3 elements for triathlon.
Yeah. And
jumped into one, and it's been my passion ever since. I got really excited about it the last couple of years.
Triathlon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why?
It's always funny. People ask, what's your favorite part of triathlon? Mm-hmm. And it's not really that I get the most excited about swimming and just kind of tolerate the biking and the running. It's the combination of all 3 coming together mm-hmm. as one big feat that, mm-hmm. You surprise yourself with, how it comes together, or how well you can do one thing after the other. It's the whole big bundle that gets me excited. I find sometimes when I'm training and I'm in the pool, I start thinking like, I want to go for a bike ride. And then I'm out on the bike, and it's like, what would feel awesome right now? A run. Like, each feeds into the other. Yeah. Which is kind of a rambling answer, but that's
no, it's great. So you love all 3. You love running, swimming, and biking.
Yep.
So you did a sprint triathlon. What other events have you done?
The next year, I did my first Olympic distance. So I did a number of sprints that first year, and then I did my first Olympic and decided that was my favorite distance. And
then what do you do now? Like, what is your event right now if you had to pick?
I really get excited about the Half Ironman distance, which is...
So how long is the swim in the Half Ironman?
1.2.
1.2 mile swim?
Yes.
And then the bike is?
56 miles.
And
the run is a half marathon.
Wow, so yeah, it's like quite a bit more.
Yes, it's a leap.
And have you done one, or do you have one planned?
I've done one last year. This year, it was kind of funny. I was going to do several this year, and mm-hmm. the first one, the bike route, got canceled because of politics.
Yeah.
So they turned it into an aquathon. So
okay.
I've done a Half Ironman distance aquathon, which is a swim run.
Okay.
And then actually a couple weekends ago, we were mm-hmm. supposed to do another Half Ironman at Bear Lake.
Okay.
And it looked like, with all the rain and the flooding and everything, it was going to be rained out. We weren't sure about roads. So we stayed in town and did a mock race.
Tell me about this. I'm dying to know. A mock race, what is that?
It was hilarious and terrible and silly all at once.
And who's we? Is it?
My husband and I.
Okay.
We met at a triathlon.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're married to a triathlete.
I am.
Okay. I've heard he's a great triathlete too, by the way.
Yes, he is.
And so what'd you do for the mock? Was that here in Lander?
Yeah, we did. We went to the pool and went during rec swim because it was on a Saturday, and shared a lane and busted out a 1.2 mile swim.
Right, as fast as you could, as if you were in a race? Okay.
Yes. And parts of it were kind of similar to an open water swim. There was one point where some rec swim kids kind of tried to come in and join us in our lane. A third lap swimmer joined us, and
they thought you were just swimming.
Yeah, which is fine. It was
yeah.
their laps or rec swim time. But,
yeah.
So that was kind of fun. And then we lived just a couple of blocks from the house, so we jogged back to the house and jumped on our bikes. Lonnie had planned out a whole 56-mile route all around the county, and it involved starting off up Sinks Canyon for about 6 miles. And we were crawling up and we could see the clouds coming in. And we turn around and the rain starts and it just gets heavier and heavier.
A downpour?
Yes.
Oh, man.
And, this was going to be a 2.5 hour.
There's no support, right? This is the Casey Lonnie mock race. Okay.
Just us. So we sprinted back to the house, set up our trainers as quickly as we could.
Oh, my gosh.
Rode the next 2 hours on the trainers.
In your living room?
In the living room.
Oh, my gosh. You're hardcore.
It was hilarious. And I went for the wettest run that I think I've ever done.
But it was a half marathon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you finish?
Yes.
And was it your first half this year, right?
It was. Yeah.
And did you get first? First or second? That's the question.
First because Lonnie had a hurt toe, and so
congratulations!
It was a great training day. It definitely showed me where I needed to make some improvements before my next half.
And when is your next half?
Is going to happen.
Yes.
It is October 19th.
Okay.
At Lake Mead, actually.
Oh, great. What is your goal with that?
I'm hoping to get as close to 5 flat as possible.
Wow, that's fast.
Well,
it is fast.
It depends on the course a little bit too.
But I've heard through the grapevine that you're a real contender.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I tend to surprise myself when I get to races.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of the plan, is to go pretty hard on the swim, and then just hold steady, and hard but steady on the bike. Not burn any matches and get as many calories in as I can, and then just bring it home on the run. Start out a little conservative and finish out hard.
Sounds like a great strategy.
Hopefully.
Yeah. How long have you been training at Elemental?
It's been full season now.
Why did you start training with Steve?
Yeah, I had been winging it a little bit before. I started out just kind of running when I felt like it, and biking when I felt like it, and knowing how far I was going to have to go on race day, and doing more than that.
Yeah.
Which, with a sprint was okay, but once I got into the longer stuff, wasn't going to be the best approach. Once I kind of had an idea of what I was doing, and I had gone through a couple, free online training programs, and had kind of gotten a glimpse of my potential, I really just wanted to see what was really there, and I knew I didn't have the expertise to pull that out. So we started looking into coaches, and Steve was he explained things and walked through things very patiently. So I feel like not only am I training my body, but I'm learning a lot about why I'm doing these things, what effect they're having, how to adjust when I have to take a day off. And it's been great. I've seen fantastic results, far more consistent results.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and just felt stronger and faster than ever before, and it's been definitely the right choice. I'm excited to see where we keep going and really find all that potential.
Oh, that's awesome. What motivates you?
I really enjoy getting out there. I enjoy the training as much as the racing. And I'm competitive with others, but more so with myself. So it's always exciting to see what I can do to convince myself I can do it better, to realize how many miles my body can carry me through. It's always fun to test that limit and realize that it's not nearly as close as you think it is. It's kind of fun at some of these races to, there are different levels. There are the elites who get their awards, who are pros or just really good and shouldn't be sandbagging and competing with us age groupers.
Yeah, right.
And then there are the age groupers. And it's kind of fun at some of these races to see that your time fits in with some of the elites, and by no means is that an indication that I need to be moving up. I don't think, just because they're smaller, pretty small races, but that actually is one of my goals in the next couple of years, is to get into some big races so I can see what that really means.
Example of like what would be a dream race to get into in 2 years?
Well, next year is
or 1 year.
An Ironman year for sure.
You're going to do a full Ironman?
I'm going to do a full Ironman.
Sweet. Great job. In advance, great job.
Thank you. I can't wait.
What is the distance of a full Ironman of each event?
It's a 2.4-mile swim, and then a 112-mile bike ride, and then a full marathon.
Wow. Each of those is really significant in itself, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be, the training is going to be yet another opportunity to really push that line of where I think my limits are.
Right. What advice would you give other women or anybody if they're looking to get fit and maybe even consider doing a triathlon? Like what are some tips you'd give them to just make that first step?
You're already stronger than you realize. You know, we've all had days where, or, you know, times in our life where we've had to train less than we wanted and come back and been surprised at what's still there. But, you know, if you haven't started yet, there's something already there. And so there's no reason not to get started now and take advantage of that, you know, maximize it. And then I would say you also need to be patient. Depending on what your sights are, it's probably a lot of miles and your body will get there, but if you try to push it, you're probably going to end up hating it or end up hurting yourself. It's better just take it one day at a time. And a sprint is a great place to start. They're very manageable.
I mean, in the end, what's the payoff?
But I think surprising yourself. You know, when it all comes together and you just have the race of your life. I think my best race was an Olympic distance race we had this year, and I gutted it out to get into the top 10 in the women, and I didn't.
Yeah.
I was 11th.
Oh, jeez.
But it was just, I was able to run it so hard after biking so hard and putting it all out and like leaving it in the water. And it all came together, and my time was really satisfying for me. And that's, you know, it doesn't matter what the numbers are to anybody else or what the place is or whatever. It's when you can finish and you have that feeling of, I didn't know that I could do that well or that hard or that fast, and I did. That's so rewarding, and it's so personal.
Okay, thanks, Casey, so much for sharing. And good luck in your triathlon in October.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll be pulling for you.
Great.
Thanks.